Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Today let's listen to a story. There was a woodcutter. He worked hard in the forest throughout the day getting wood to sell in the market. With the money he earned, he would buy some food for himself and his family. One day, as he was cutting down a tree, his axe accidentally fell into a river. The river was very deep and was flowing really fast. The woodcutter tried his best, but he could not find his axe again. He sat down at the bank of the river and wept. At that time, the god of the river arose from the water. I asked the woodcutter why he was crying. The woodcutter told him the whole story. "I'm sorry," said the god of the river. "I saw your problem. Tell me, if I get your axe, will you give it back to me?" "Of course I will," replied the woodcutter. So the god of the river disappeared into the water and came back with a golden axe. "Is this yours?" he asked. The woodcutter looked at the axe and replied, "No, this is not my axe. This is much more valuable than the one I lost." The god of the river was surprised. He thought that any man would be happy to get such a valuable axe. Why did this man refuse? But he decided not to argue with the woodcutter and disappeared again into the water. He retrieved a silver axe and asked the woodcutter if it was his. The woodcutter looked at the axe and replied, "No, this is not my axe. This is also more valuable than the one I lost." The god of the river was very surprised now. He went back again and asked the woodcutter for the third time, "Are you sure you don't want this axe? It's made of pure gold. You can sell it and buy many things for yourself and your family." "Thank you for your offer," said the woodcutter, "but this is not my axe. I don't want anything that does not belong to me." The god of the river was very impressed with the honesty of the woodcutter. He went back into the water for the last time and came out with an iron axe. "Is this your axe?" he asked. The woodcutter looked at the axe and said, "Yes, this is my axe." "Thank you so much." The god of the river was very happy. He had been observing the woodcutter and had been waiting for such an opportunity to test his honesty. The woodcutter could have easily lied and taken the golden axe, but he was honest and refused to take anything that did not belong to him. The god of the river bestowed the woodcutter with the golden and silver axes as a reward for his honesty. "Take these axes," said the god of the river, "and keep them with you. They will always be useful." The woodcutter thanked the god of the river and returned home. From that day on, the woodcutter never had to worry about his family's hunger or his debts. He used the golden axe to cut down trees and the silver axe to clear the bushes. He was a very happy man because he was an honest man. Once upon a time, there lived a poor woodcutter in a village. Every day he went to the nearby forest to cut wood and earn a few coins to buy food for himself and his family. He was a hard-working man, but his earnings were very low, and he lived a very simple life. One day, while cutting wood, the woodcutter's axe accidentally slipped and fell into a nearby river. The river was deep, and the current was strong, and the woodcutter could not retrieve his axe. He was very upset because his axe was not just a tool for him, it was a means of earning his livelihood. As the sun began to set, the woodcutter sat down on the bank of the river and started to cry. His tears mixed with the flowing water and flowed into the river. Suddenly he felt a tap on his shoulder and turned around to see a strange old man standing behind him. "Why are you crying?" asked the old man. The woodcutter wiped his tears and said, "I'm sorry, kind sir, but I've lost my axe and I don't know how to get it back. It's too deep and too fast for me to go in there and look for it. And besides, it's getting dark and I have to go home." The old man looked at the river and then at the woodcutter. "Tell me," he asked, "if I were to retrieve your axe from the river, would you give it back to me?" The woodcutter was surprised by the old man's question, but he replied, "Of course I will. If you get my axe, I will be eternally grateful to you." The old man disappeared into the river and after a few moments reappeared on the bank with a shining golden axe. "Is this yours?" he asked the woodcutter. The woodcutter took the axe in his hands and said, "No, this is not mine. I think this is much more valuable than my simple iron axe." The old man was surprised. He thought that anyone would be happy to get such a valuable axe. "Are you sure?" he asked. The woodcutter nodded his head. "Yes, I'm sure." The old man disappeared again into the river and came back with a silver axe. "Is this yours?" he asked again. The woodcutter examined the axe and said, "No, this is not mine. I'm sorry." The old man was amazed. He had never met anyone who was not tempted by such a beautiful and valuable axe. "What about this one?" he asked, taking out a simple iron axe from behind his back. The woodcutter took the axe and said, "Yes, this is mine." Thank you so much." The old man was pleased with the woodcutter's honesty and gave him both the golden and silver axes. "Keep these axes," he said. "They will always be useful." The woodcutter thanked the old man and returned home. From that day on, the woodcutter never had to worry about his family's hunger or his debts. He used the golden axe to cut down trees and the silver axe to clear the bushes. He was a very happy man because he was an honest man. That's all for today, friends. We hope you liked the story. Please subscribe to the channel and comment below with the new stories you want to hear. Thank you.